Every night, Kevin would dream the same dream, and each time it seemed to become more and more vivid. It was as though the thought was drawing him closer and closer until he could reach out and touch it. The dream would start with him driving down a road on a stormy night, rain pelting against his windshield like angry tears. As his car approached the destination, he would see a gate at a cemetery, and a devilish-looking man in a cape with blazing red eyes was waving him to come in, but Kevin was too scared to enter the gates. As Kevin would push on the gas to speed off, his car would stall, and the devilish man in the black cape would approach his vehicle, his sinister laughter echoing in the darkness. Then Kevin would wake up screaming in horror and sweating profusely, his heart pounding like a drum inside his chest. Kevin tried his best before bedtime not to read or watch any scary movies on the television so his mind could be clear of that horrible dream. He was so scared of his vision that he would leave the light on in his room all night in hopes he could sleep soundly. But that wouldn't be the case. One night, Kevin decided to take a different approach. He told himself that the next time this dream appeared, he would try to remember more details about it and write it down on paper, hoping some clue would surface to help solve this horrifying puzzle. By doing this, he might even find the location of the cemetery, so he could face this tormenting dream head-on and get his life back to normal. Before Kevin went to bed, he drank a glass of wine in hopes this would calm his nerves so when he was dreaming, he wouldn't feel so scared and could focus more on his surroundings. Just before closing his eyes to sleep, Kevin knelt at the side of his bed and said a little prayer, seeking protection and guidance from a force greater than himself. Kevin's preparation before the dream began to pay off for him in a big way. After a night of vivid dreams, he awoke with a clear image of the cemetery gate in his mind. He could read part of the sign now. The name he was able to come up with was Coimaterian Gates, but Kevin could not make out the other two words because the rest was blurred out. Still, there were enough clues to pinpoint the location of the cemetery. It was about 50 miles south from where Kevin currently lived. Kevin decided to wait until the next day to search for the cemetery, because the weather forecast showed no clouds in the sky. With a sense of determination, he left the house a little before 3 p.m. after filling up his car's tank with gas. As Kevin was pumping gas, he looked up at the sky, closing his eyes to feel the warmth from the sun on his face. Kevin was so excited about confronting his fears that he ran back into the gas station to get his sandwich and drink, and to tell the cashier about how wonderful of a day it was. Filled with both fear and hope, Kevin got in his car and headed for the Coimaterian Gates to put an end to his disturbing dream. Little did he know that this dream was about to become a victim's in a perpetual cycle of terrifying dreams until they were consumed by their darkest fears and ultimately led to their doom. As Jessica dug deeper, she encountered others who had experienced the same dream but somehow managed to break free from its clutches. Each one had faced their demons, repented for their wrongdoings, and found a path to redemption. She learned that Kevin's life had been far from perfect, and his struggle with his inner demons had been more profound than anyone realized. Driven by an unyielding determination to save Kevin, Jessica sought guidance from experts in the occult and spiritual realms. She stumbled upon ancient texts and rituals that could potentially break the curse. Armed with this newfound knowledge, she embarked on a perilous journey to rescue Kevin from the depths of hell. Meanwhile, in the fiery realm of darkness, Kevin found himself surrounded by tormented souls, each one carrying the weight of their sins. The devil taunted Kevin, forcing him to confront the choices he had made in life and the harm he had caused to others. As the days turned into what felt like eternity, Kevin's resolve to break free grew stronger. He sought solace in the company of others, forming bonds with fellow lost souls who longed for redemption. Back in the mortal world, Jessica assembled a team of individuals who possessed unique abilities. A gifted psychic, a knowledgeable historian, a fearless exorcist, they all came together, united by the shared goal of saving Kevin's soul. They conducted ancient rituals, performed ceremonies, and fought against the malevolent forces that stood in their way. In the darkness of hell, Kevin and his newfound friends hatched a daring plan. They would challenge the devil himself, demanding their freedom and a chance at redemption. Armed with the strength of their resolve and the support of those who cared about them in the living world, they marched toward the heart of hell, ready to face whatever horrors awaited them. The confrontation was epic, with the forces of good clashing against the forces of evil. As the battle raged on, Jessica and her team performed their rituals, channeling their energy to weaken the curse that held Kevin captive. They fought alongside Kevin's newfound allies, all of them risking everything for a second chance at life. The devil, threatened by this united front, unleashed his most sinister powers. Yet, the determination of those who sought redemption proved stronger. They refused to back down, even in the face of unimaginable horrors. With every passing moment, the lines between the living and the dead blurred. The barrier separating hell from the mortal world weakened. The fate of Kevin and countless other souls hung in the balance. In the end, it was an act of self-sacrifice that would break the curse. One of Kevin's newfound friends, burdened by guilt over a past misdeed, chose to take the devil's place and become the guardian of hell. This selfless act disrupted the curse's power, allowing Jessica and her team to pull Kevin back from the fiery abyss. When Kevin opened his eyes, he found himself back in the cemetery where the nightmare had begun. But this time, he was not alone. He was surrounded by the faces of his friends and family who had never stopped searching for him. Tears flowed freely as they embraced Kevin, overjoyed to have him back. It was a bittersweet victory, for they had lost a dear friend in the battle against darkness. However, they knew that his sacrifice had not been in vain. The experience changed Kevin profoundly. He vowed to live a life free of guilt and to make amends for his past mistakes. With the support of his loved ones and the knowledge that he was not alone in his struggle, he set out on a journey of healing and redemption. Detective Jessica Hartley continued her work, spreading awareness about the curse and helping others confront their own inner demons. The tale of Kevin's harrowing journey became a cautionary legend, a reminder that the darkness within can only be conquered with the light of love, forgiveness, and the strength to confront one's past. In the end, Kevin's journey transcended the boundaries of a nightmare. It became a story of resilience, redemption, and the indomitable human spirit, the kind of tale that would be passed down through generations, a timeless reminder that even in the face of the most formidable darkness, there is always hope for salvation.